zoom in and really take a good look at South America. And it's going to be a lot of fun one way or the other. That's the best part about South America is no matter which way you dice it, you're always assured fireworks.
Fireworks, indeed. There have been some really fun matches today. And a healthy helping of own goals, if I do say so. And I don't know if we'll get more of that here, but considering some of the stuff these guys like to go for, you know you're in store for at least one.
There's currently some decent early pressure. Haberkamper in time to delay a push, and look at Sadness, so aggressive. PJ already right there for it, and just looking to lay it into those lower left corners. Quick transitions, starting off from erased.
No, Luke ended up missing that challenge. Nice pickup from Sadness, forcing the rotation wide for Firefox. Nothing really working for a race to try to get out of the blue half right now. Noble have control of midfield. Continue to with Renan behind the ball. Renan slipping underneath Sadness, but Sadness gets away from that one. He's able to shovel the ball out a couple of times on defense so far. And gets underneath the first attacker here, but Haberkamper sends it across.
That's a good touch from Haberkamper. He kind of realized all of his teammates got jammed right next to him, and he would rather dump that ball off into space and give themselves time to spread out, even if it means they don't necessarily hold on to possession. That was the right play.
Oh, PJ's got a net, and it's too light.
Wow,
Haberkamper came in for a very clean save. Yeah, I was expecting that one to be a hard shot on target, and now Luke must slip underneath it. Haberkamper takes it away again. Renan tries to slip it out, but PJ forces Haberkamper to fight hard for possession, and he's going to get it back to Firefox.
PJ really thinking about how he wants to approach those challenges. He's got a good line on a lot of balls, and he's really trying to see if he can catch somebody on Noble being a little too aggressive with the touches and maybe just get that delayed touch around the defense.
Luke right over top of Haberkamper. It's been quite a battle to hang on to the ball. The race did spend a little time in their own half, but Noble had been unable to put a shot on net. They might get their first here, but Sadness gets in the way, and again, the defense for a race clean right now.
What a touch from Sadness. Must make, or at least if you missed it, you were going to be under a lot of pressure. Firefox, I think, got bumped off an attempt right there. Noble pushing hard, but like you said, some brilliant mechanics on display on defense for Erased.
Well, PJ gets chipped off the ball, but Erased back in front. PJ wants to pass. Luke in front of it again, and he'll get the tip, but it's off the post. Luke shot denied again. Haberkamper has been in the way of Erased all game long, and the 3 minutes belong to him so far, but Renan can pick up a save as well. 4 saves, though, for Haberkamper as he gets the clear downfield.
Wild defensive game from both teams here. PJ kind of in an awkward spot, gives his life for it. Renan just needs to set up Haberkamper, maybe get the bump. That's too fast across the net. Tough one for Firefox to come in and try and score it. Again, some great counterattacks, but just taking slightly too long to develop, or just the situation not quite perfect. Pass up to Renan. He's going to knock it straight back down. Too far for Firefox, and Luke has a chance to win the race, but everything should reset itself here.
Sadness got that grab outside of his own box, and that one right down for Haberkamper. It's right into the net. Finally, Noble cracked through, and Haberkamper on top.
Chopped it down here from Renan. I mean, he just measured out PJ's approach and took the right timing to the ball and just killed it before it went out to the safety of the corner. Great play, Renan.
Again, this continues to be a solid game for Haberkamper. He's been tasked on defense with 4 saves and had a couple looks at the net, but got his first registered shot, which turned into a goal for him. And now he's in trouble, but he makes the touch against PJ, and Renan won't have to grab it. Firefox carries it back around the corner.
A lot of space here to work with as well, with Renan getting caught there in the midfield. Haberkamper has to give ground. This is not an easy thing to defend, but we'll see if Erased can really dig this ball out of the corner. That's the hard part. Floater towards the corner of the goal. Firefox there in time, and the clock's certainly a factor now.
Sadness gets that ball back out to PJ, and Erased get back on offense. Luke in traffic, blocked out, and onto the side. Sadness ended up backflipping. Saw Haberkamper coming up, and it's a quick transition for Noble back to the blue wall. PJ gets a hard clear out. Haberkamper cuts him off. And a nice slip around from Renan. Can he develop something here for his team? A drop down to Haberkamper's cut off by PJ.
Great realization from Haberkamper too. He heard somebody jump from the other side and instantly backflip, so he'd have more time to recover. On defense there, it's not going to pay him any dividends, though. They missed 2 opportunities to clear it. PJ scores.
And that's the perfect drop for PJ. Renan tried to find the read, was expecting that to come down off the backboard. It came off just diagonally, so his timing was a little off, and the ball kicked out a little too far for him, and he wasn't ready for it. Your timing has to be perfect on drops like that, and it wasn't for Renan that time.
And Firefox as well, playing with fire. Sadness out to the middle. Luke is going to jam it under the bar. You spend like 3 minutes being down 0-1, and inside of 10 seconds, you're up 1.
Oh, and Renan tried his hardest to get below this before Luke was already on top of him, but just no luck for Renan in front of his own box today. That's 2 against by him and the entire Noble team. A race taking the lead out of nowhere, Chiefs. Like you were saying, they had a couple nice looks early on, and maybe they get the insurance here. PJ slips underneath. Sadness on the wing, but he's got no boost. He wants to put it back on the ground. Haberkamper gets the kick out to Renan. Puts it downfield. Luke wants the drop, and he'll get it. A race take the first game on Manfield.
Wow. Talk about frustration. You know, your Noble Esports, the entire desk is sitting there like, nah, Erased has this. You get a pretty decent chunk of the chat vote. You're up 1 going into a minute under, and then boom, back-to-back goals from Erased, and you're just kind of sitting there scratching your head like, man, you gotta be kidding me. That's
especially after all the work they were doing on defense. I mean, Noble were withstanding some good early pressure from Erased, and you had mentioned their counterattacks a couple of times being pretty big threats down the field.
Both teams having to deal with some fairly speedy counterattacks back the other way, and there's the first goal from Haberkamper. It was feeling pretty good, but I guess it wasn't 3 minutes. It felt like forever that they were up, but it's just there's so much going on. He scored at 1:29 to open up the scoring. I thought that got scored so much earlier.
Yeah, I mean, there was maybe for Noble, you know, I'm thinking back to Dex and Chamako. They're like, they want to pick Noble. His heart was, or Dex's heart was to pick Noble, but he had to go with Erased. And I think that was kind of like a microcosm of how Dex was feeling. You know, they play all that stellar defense, but they can't quite get the machine churning on offense long enough for a race to really respect it. And they get a pass. PJ slips underneath. He's looking pretty good right now, and it's back out to the corner from Firefox.
Make a good point about that Noble offense, though. Only 2 shots registered on target in the previous game, and despite having to play a lot of solid defense and battling pretty well for possession, like you said, just never really able to string it together into a couple of chances on target. PJ off the wall, Haberkamper almost own goals it, and that would have been a banger of an own goal.
PJ's been a big threat so far in the match. Every time he gets behind it, you feel a little bit of electricity in his octane.
Challenge.
That's a nice pass. Sadness gets that ball out, but you're right. He's just waiting around midfield. Haberkamper won't give him a look at it, though. Keeps it as close as possible for Renan. Forces the challenge off PJ. Firefox gets underneath. Gets the double, and it's taken away by Luke, but Renan's quickly up for it, setting up another opportunity, but nobody from Noble is going to commit. Haberkamper gets the first touch off the corner, setting up another play, but PJ plays it back around to the opposite side. Firefox kicking it back up, and Luke going to get the next catch down. Renan forces the challenge. There's nobody back in net, and Sadness comes out to grab it from Haberkamper. He swims back around. Sadness again gets the clear and gets Erased out of a pinch.
What percent? Oh, and he's going to fake it, stall it out, try and set up another opportunity. PJ trying to get creative. Great transition. He's just going to miss the bump on Haberkamper. Would have allowed a goal, but we wanted more offense out of Noble. Well, we got it there in the first couple minutes, but just well-played defense from Erased. Some snap reactions, making great saves, and we'll see if that lasts.
And the ball kicked back out. And Noble, they've been able to match Erased in the shot total. But it's been very low scoring for opening 2 minutes. Only 3 shots apiece. Luke grabbing another ball. It seems like Erased are grabbing more and more of this ball and pushing it back to the orange half, but another clear down the field. Wow. But two demos to respond from Erased, and they'll get the ball right back.
Gotta love opening up the space for yourself to chop down a rotation somewhere and earn something back. But what I'm consistently impressed with is how well the people rotating back in from the initial attempt at transition whenever it's getting challenged away. I mean, they've got some great ability to get back behind the ball on defense, and Luke is going to try his hardest to get this one by the defender, and he will succeed.
This whole progression was all Sadness. Forces that challenge out to give Luke a perfect angle on the ball, but that whole play started from his own corner where he gets the scoop away from the attacker, gets a perfect pass down to midfield, down to PJ, and then just never stops being a threat in the rotation. Sadness, a really good progression from his own end of the pitch down the other way.
Brennan, he's always the guy that I enjoy watching over on this Noble team. Very creative player, nice back pass, and let's set the can opener up with another chance.
Sadness takes it away, and PJ gets another touch. Erased, finding each other in space. Still they connect. PJ forces the ball through. Sadness on the rotation, passes it right back. PJ sends it back across to the corner. And still, how are Erased winning these challenges? There are 2 orange cars behind every challenge, yet an Erased car keeps coming away with it. Luke grabs the ball again in midfield.
It's just fighting for him consistently. It's that willingness to die for everything, regardless of whether or not you feel like you should be buying time or not. And they're doing a great job of recovering and keeping themselves in a decent enough spot to go for a second look. And it's just that delaying tactic, and more often than not, that's buying enough time for that support player to come through. As look at PJ. When he just gets the chip on it, Sadness immediately commits, and now they can just hang out here in the corner for a little bit and make sure that they have enough time to reset.
Every touch is into an Erased car. Habercamper swinging back around. He's got Sadness to beat, but Sadness cuts off the pass in front and gets the follow-up, pushing Renan back to his own corner.
Free ball.
And he just kicks it right back and skips off of Renan's car that turns into a decent touch for Erased, which could have been just possession giveaway.
Beautiful control from Firefox there as well to pull that one out of an awkward roll out onto your own corner. Give themselves a chance here with under a minute, but now it's all about how you win the challenges there at the midfield. Another big block from Firefox. And the bump on Luke. Just circle around. Do they have the boost?
Oh, he missed! Oh, he had a little bit more time to deal with it, but now PJ blows through one player and forces the challenge back out to the side. PJ able to pinch the ball out, using the last of his boost to do it, and Luke has to play catch-up and wait for Renan. Renan cut off by Sadness in midfield. It might be another push here for a race. They just got to hang on to the ball in order to win. Noble, another push. Habercamper beyond midfield. He's got Renan. Hard off the backboard. Double touch, and it's saved. Around the post. Gets him out. Luke able to pick up the save. PJ picks up the clear. And Erased just may have picked up the win, but hang on a second. Habercamper, he dropped it. PJ just gave him a chance.
It pinched and straight in.
Habercamper, he's got the pass to Firefox. Oh, quick dropped on the goal line. No chance. Erased will take the game on Forbidden Temple.
Oh, come on, man. You get that many spicy looks in transition with a couple opportunities to score some banger goals, and Renan, I mean, he had a chance to drill that double tap, but wasn't able to fit it right under the crossbar where really that degree of perfection is required in that instance, because they had the defenders back, and he opted to make sure it was on target. Unfortunately, that put it too close to the defenders, and try as they might at 0 seconds. Erased, Ben, don't break. And Luke, even himself not with a perfectly placed ball, was still enough to just beat the defender. And that one right there.
And like that play right there,
sad.
like Habercamper coming across like that, it's like that kept happening to Noble, where they'd get the setup, but then nobody was in the rotation to follow it up. And that hurts the most when you feel like we're winning these challenges, but then you don't have the boost and your team isn't ready for it. So Noble still have that question to be answered for them. Can they maintain that pressure and actually start finding these follow-ups in front of the box? Because if they do start having a player there, Erased will have to respect them. They just haven't had to yet. And so how does it shake out on DFH Stadium? And Erased would love to end this with a solid, 4-0 on the day?
Yeah.
And Noble just trying to inch their way back up the standings. PJ gonna push back for the back pass.
It's all back to, like you said, that support system being there. That one where they had the completely open net was just the happenstance of the demo pass down to Habercamper. And look at him squeeze it right in between the defender and the post. Beautiful shot.
And they didn't have much of that, which was Sadness straight up missing the clear. He's been pretty bang on with his contact. And you're right, yeah. Ended up punching it right in, though, for Habercamper, so he'll pick up that goal.
He smacked that off the post. To be fair, he was pretty much trying to hit the perfect shot on a dime there in the goal line, and Sometimes you get a lucky. PJ had to respect the fact that there was a goal opportunity, and he committed. PJ dumps it off to Luke. Slow float. It's going to be just high, and Renan, what a beautiful clear, but can he make the second one? Haberkamper going to bail him out of trouble.
Firefox able to get the push out to Renan. Quick transition taken away by PJ, but a dangerous back pass over to Luke will be safely carried out by Sadness off the ceiling.
Look how fast these transitions are. I mean, it's just pinches off the sidewall, people making snap reads. Haberkamper wants the back post. He's going to drill it.
Haberkamper unlocked his next gear in this match. Luke kicks it up real high. He's got no boost to follow it, and his teammate is rotating back. PJ was caught onto the post, expecting something to go at least closer to the corner, but Haberkamper made him pay. 2 goals in the first minute from him.
That was a beautiful shot from Haberkamper, and what a way to give yourself a little insurance in a series where you know you could have walked away with 2 early wins, and back up against the wall now. You got to give yourself every opportunity, and they've taken them so far, and now it's just a matter of holding it down. You don't need to give up anything too aggressive and try and extend the lead. Just have to hold on to the 2 comfortably. PJ going to miss a double tap.
Sadness, while he got the boost, he lost the challenge. Firefox all over it, but Sadness gets back to it. PJ just lurking down around midfield. He gets the demo and may have given Sadness the play. The pass in front of Luke, off the crossbar, no follow-up. Haberkamper gets there. So despite the disruptive nature of PJ's attack, they were unable to convert.
That was all the pieces coming together right there, and right before you snapped the last one in, someone moved the table on you, and you just popped it right next to the spot it's supposed to go. Unlucky.
Some of the puzzle pieces, I think, fell underneath the table, too. Now we got to shovel those out, and Haberkamper almost sends a couple more tumbling in. But it's taken away, and Noble bumping into each other, a tight rotation, but PJ could not quite find a way to really wreak havoc on it. And Noble get back down
awkward.
To the
they
blue
just let him shoot that
and almost find a 3rd goal. Sadness, with no boost, was able to pick up the save.
Yeah, and a couple people just kind of hanging out right there next to the line. Luke and PJ gonna finagle a beautiful challenge. Look at him turn the car sideways to stalemate it. Here's Sadness trying to chip it over Firefox. Again, they approach those challenges so intelligently over on the Erase side, but Renan on the counterattack. He's one-on-one, and he's trying to do the same thing. Sadness doesn't bite.
Now, do keep in mind, Erased did score in the final 30 seconds on Manfield Night to come back and steal the game away from Noble, who were leading by 1 for the majority of that game. TJ just sends it across. They do not want Noble to have this ball erased. Really hunting for that first goal, but the snowball just won't roll down the hill.
That might get it.
That might do it. Off the post and in. Sadness collects, and Erased will pick up their first goal.
I mean, they really just get caught here on this perfect clear. I mean, they popped it out of their own half, and they're like, cool, we're on offense. Let's go apply a little pressure. Then there comes the bomb from Luke out of his own corner. Not on target, but who cares? You had a guy rotating back, says, oh, that's past all of them. I'll just make sure it gets in.
I mean, Noble have been respecting that transition game so well from Erased so far. Oh, they just dropped it, and Renan makes them pay. 3-1 for Noble.
Yeah, not much needed to be said here. Haberkamper sets one up, and Sadness just slightly off time and comes in under that ball and can't make the recovery effort either. Renan, nice shot. Just make sure it's on target with a little bit of pace.
And that was just off the backs. Like I was just saying that, Erased, they had been handling the transitions from Noble really well. Overall, or excuse me, the other way around. Noble were handling the transitions from Erased really well, whose passing has been on point overall for the set. Sadness can't quite work his way around the corner, but PJ comes in front of it. He's hopping all over the place today.
You cannot get a ball by that guy for free. He's going to set up Sadness, and look at Sadness absolutely freeze Renan here on the goal line. He gets so tied up with thinking, here comes this shot to the back post, so he starts to hit reverse, and then Sadness drives almost parallel with the ball, so Renan can't actually read which direction he's going to shoot it. And then it's that delayed touch to go right in front of Renan's nose. Oh, gosh, that's just brutal to try and think about how to save that.
When your brain just, it's like, Renan's brain is like speed, gotta go. PJ was like, break number 1. Then Sadness was like, how about break number 2? And that's too much whiplash. Achieves. Can't handle
brutal,
it.
Man. It's just the constant reshuffling of the situation at such a high speed in your mind. It's you just got locked up and tied up in a knot right there.
Noble have let Erased hang around in this game where they could have put it away multiple times. It's been a threat. PJ setting across, but Firefox will get the clear out. Luke in a tough spot. He's going to have to handle Firefox, but PJ helps him out, who just rolls around the pitch, gets a couple of bumps,
and he
wins the challenges, and is all around just a giant threat for Noble to deal with all over the pitch.
They have to hit the brakes here a little bit, though. They messed up their transition, the passing not quite online, and Sadness forced to defend. A strong shot here from Renan, and off the bar. What a save. But can they hold out and give themselves one last chance here under 20 seconds?
He's got PJ downfield, makes the contacts. And Habercamper cut off by Sadness. PJ cut off by Renan. Habercamper can't get there. Luke drop pass to Sadness. Sadness back over to Luke. Luke will find the ball back around the corner. Firefox out the cross to Renan. Can't find him. Time expires. PJ last chance. Sadness is pre-jumped in. The shot is in. Sadness reads the future and ties the game.
Look at PJ put this one in the perfect spot. He jumped before PJ's even jumped that ball off the wall. How do you squeeze that into a gap like that? What a play from Erased. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. I love this region. They just go for it. Especially Erased. PJ's just been going for stuff all match. He's just been roaming around the orange side of the pitch, getting demos, picking up some bumps, and just making life generally miserable for Noble. But Noble clapping right back. Sadness able to grab that save off the crossbar, and PJ gets the continuing touch.
Couple of scary looks there at the start of OT for Noble. Chipped out into the middle, and gosh, another beautifully timed challenge for PJ. Floater towards the goal. Firefox is in time. PJ, you just got to knock this down for Sadness. He's right there. They are going to 3-0 sweep. You have got to be kidding me.
Well, how fitting is it that Sadness puts this in? Oh, man, a delivery from PJ straight to his nose. 4 goals for Sadness to put Noble in the dirt.
Man, you want to talk about the epitome of frustration. We said it all game. Sadness might have 1,000 points here, but PJ's got 3 assists and every challenge in the book on lock. I mean, that was absolutely brilliant from Erased. How in the world did they bring that back? You got to play that 0-second equalizer again, right?
I need it like 3 times.
Right?
I need it like 3 times. Give me from PJ's perspective, Sadness is perfection, and Sadness is perfection. Wow, that just kind of slipped out. But I mean, that's just how it was, right? I mean, yes, he got the 3 assists to Chiefs, but Sadness also had 5 saves on top of his 4 goals. And, you know, Luke, I'd say he was just happy to be there, but he wasn't. Luke had a lot of great valuable touches for his team. It's not as if he was slacking. It's just, look, when you don't have to work, you don't do the work.
Yeah, when you got one guy absolutely being a challenge monster and another guy seemingly always in the perfect spot to try and take advantage, you can kind of just drive around and cover up the gaps, make sure the counterattack doesn't go too horribly wrong or something like that. That's just, you know, doing your job. The other 2 guys got everything else. You just make sure nothing goes too bad. Well done. What a sick series from Erased to battle back from behind in 2 of those games.
Well, we do have our final match of the day is still going on. If you're just tuning in and just catching up right now, well, Erased just put up a 3-0 spot against Noble and finished top of their group. But we do have our last match of the day still going on. I believe that is on the B stream, so you can hop over there and check that one out. But we are actually going to go there, so we'll show it right now. We'll head over. So there's still more Rocket League, and we'll pan over to it right now and show you guys that action.